Good morning, Grace Covenant, on this beautiful Thursday. Tonight, the Power and Race team will be meeting at 6 o'clock over Zoom. I've also been in some really good and some really challenging discussions this morning over Zoom again. At 8 o'clock this morning, the men of GCPC met. We read this article in The Atlantic by an author named Ibram X. Kendi about the lynching, the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. Then, after that meeting, I was in a Zoom with the group Faith for Justice, and we were asked by our facilitator and our leader, Reverend Tammy Forte Logan, to imagine the possibilities of a world without white supremacy, where we dismantle white supremacy within ourselves and within our communities and within our country and our world every single day. And that was a good and that was a hard discussion. Today I wanted to lead us into devotion around these ideas, around these questions. I wanted to begin with an exercise from My Grandmother's Hands by Resmaa Menakem, because this book reminds us that we are resourceful and that we are powerful and that we can be in hard discussions, even hard discussions that require us to make changes in our lives, because we are powerful and resilient people. And then next, I wanted to read a couple pages from How to Be an Anti-Racist by Ibram X. Kendi. This is the book that we're reading for our racial justice book series that is going to be meeting. We're going to be meeting on a week from today over Zoom. This also has been a good and a challenging book. But first, the exercise from My Grandmother's Hands. Take a moment to be grounded. Let's take a good breath together for just a moment. Put the soles of your feet on the floor. Put your back against your chair if you are sitting. Close your eyes. Try to get comfortable. Try to relax. And what I want you to do is I want you to think back to an incident when you were especially strong, resilient, and resourceful. This event may have lasted for as little as half a minute. For example, when you spoke up forcefully and eloquently on someone's behalf, or as long as a week or months or years. For example, when you put yourself through college while raising 2 kids on your own. Do you have a moment in your mind? Now, moment by moment for brief events, or milestone by milestone for larger events, I want you to mentally relive that process. At each moment or milestone, pay attention to what you experience in your body. Do you experience strength or weakness? Energy or drowsiness? Activation or settledness? Constriction or relaxation? Hope or despair? Purpose or uncertainty? Take another moment to go through this process, that time when you were strong and resilient and resourceful. No matter who you are, there have been those moments in your lives. I want you to pick one, keep it in your mind, put it in your heart. Remind yourself that you are strong and resilient and resourceful. What images, impulses, or meanings arise for you? Okay. Now, as we've gone through this process, and it's a process that could go longer, but I want us together to take some deep breaths together. Another. Feel your breath go in and sit at the bottom of your lungs and breathe out. Remember your strength. Denial is the heartbeat of racism, beating across ideologies, races, and nations. It is beating within us. Many of us who strongly call out President Trump's racist ideas will strongly deny our own. How often do we become reflectively defensive when someone calls something we've done or said racist? What's the problem with being not racist? It is a claim that signifies neutrality. I am not a racist, but neither am I aggressively against racism. But there is no neutrality in the racism struggle. The opposite of racist isn't not racist. It is anti-racist. What's the difference? One endorses the idea of a racial hierarchy as a racist, or racial equality as an anti-racist. One either believes problems are rooted in groups of people as a racist, or locates the roots of problems in power and policies as an anti-racist. One either allows racial inequalities to persevere as a racist, or confronts racial inequalities as an anti-racist. I really like that last line. One either allows racial inequalities to persevere as a racist, or confronts racial inequalities as an anti-racist. There is no in-between space of not racist. The claim of not racist neutrality is a mark of racism. He goes on to say, the good news is that racist and anti-racist are not fixed identities. You can be a racist one minute and an anti-racist the next. What we say about race, what we do about race in each moment determines what, not who we are. I used to be racist most of the time. I am changing. I am no longer identifying with racist by claiming to be not racist. I am no longer speaking through the mask of racial neutrality. I am no longer manipulated by racist ideas to see racial groups as problems. And I've come to see that the movement from racist to anti-racist is always ongoing. It requires understanding and snubbing racism based on biology, ethnicity, body, culture, behavior, color, space, and class. And beyond that, it means standing ready to fight at racism's intersections with other bigotries. I find that really powerful. This author, one of the foremost authors about writing about racism today, he talks about how he had to confront his own racism. And he also talks about how there is no neutrality, that when you say that you're neutral, you're actually allowing yourself to let racism go by. In other words, you're allowing racism to persevere, or you are actively working against it. That's a great reminder for me. It reminds me that every moment that I have is an opportunity. And yes, there have been moments when I haven't been able to say what I really meant. There's been moments when what I thought was wrong, and when I, allowed racist inequalities to persevere, when I didn't speak up, or even whenever I thought that they were somehow right. For me, this is a great reminder that every single moment is an opportunity to dismantle racist policies that degrade other people and that harm human beings. And that's a hard charge to live into. It's a hard charge to remember that every single day you have an opportunity to speak up, to dismantle, to have your voice heard against racist policies and racist power, because they're very prevalent in today's world. All you have to do is turn on the news. All you have to do is look outside at your community. They're very, very powerful. They're very, very present. So that's a hard thing for me to hear. It's a hard thing for us to hear. But it's also a hopeful reminder that every single moment is an opportunity. And remember, along with Resma Menakem, that you are strong, that you are resourceful, that we have been resourceful in the past, that we have been strong in the past, and we can continue to be strong in the present. So I'm thankful to be at a place like Grace Covenant where we are looking at ourselves critically, where we are having our voice heard from a faith perspective, and where we continue to do this type of hard work. I invite you, as you have time and as you have ability, to join us in reading this book, How to Be an Anti-Racist by Ibram X. Kendi. We're going to be meeting on Zoom a week from today on Thursday to discuss it. If you can't make that, I still would invite you to read the book. It is powerful, it is challenging, it speaks to our world today. Remember, Grace Covenant, that you are strong. Remember that you are not alone. Remember that your voice matters. Remember that we are with you and that we are praying for you.